within the Vietnamese population, there were many ways of people trying to find economic success. And so there was a certain class of people who were very entrepreneurial in the conventional sense. They opened small businesses, and some of them opened big businesses. So there are some real economic success stories in the Vietnamese community. People opening not just restaurants or shops, but opening entire chains of businesses, malls, and things like this. But even for those people who were not entrepreneurially successful in that way, there was another kind of entrepreneurial spirit that was taking place, which is that the Vietnamese, like many other refugees and immigrants, communicated with each other on how to survive in the United States. So they were entrepreneurial in the sense that they also knew how to take advantage of the social opportunities that were presented to them. And so one of the key reasons why there are a lot of Asian immigrants in California, besides the social networks that they already found there, is that a lot of them knew that California during the 1970s and the 1980s had better welfare opportunities, better social benefits than other states did. And so they came to California specifically to take advantage of those kinds of resources. And some of these opportunities were legitimate and some of them weren't. So there was a significant degree of gray market economics that was taking place in the refugee and immigrant communities. And this is anecdotal. I don't have any statistical evidence, but I saw plenty of evidence of cash under the table kinds of economies that were taking place. And so on the one hand, you had Vietnamese immigrants and refugees who owned businesses. On the other hand, you had them working for these same businesses as people being employed under the table, and also at the same time getting social benefits like welfare or aid to families with dependent children or food stamps and things like this. And this was a very common story. And then finally, I think another group of Vietnamese refugees and immigrants found jobs in the economy there. And of course, by the late 1970s and 1980s, San Jose was being marked by a growth in assembly line work, basically for Silicon Valley. And so that's why you'll find, even today, a lot of Vietnamese of that generation working in these kinds of jobs. So there was an ethnic economy that serviced other ethnic people. There was the assembly line economy. And then eventually, with the second generation, there would be the technological economy. The children of many of these people went on to work as engineers and as administrators for Silicon Valley companies. And none of this came without cost. I do remember my parents opened this store in 1978, this grocery store, and within a couple of years I saw signs up and down, I saw at least one sign on the street that said, "The Vietnamese are taking away our business." And so the presence of these Vietnamese refugees caused ethnic and economic tension in San Jose, even as these refugees and immigrants were also revitalizing a San Jose that up until then had not been doing well economically.